Hi, Jay Bearhat. Hello. H- Hello, how are
Hello.
you doing this Tuesday, Monday? What day is it?
It's I think it's Tuesday. I called out of work the other day, so I actually don't recall.
Hmm. Well, you're here now. Uh and I'm in need of some therapeutic assistance, and I need to kind of make sure that my head's screwed on straight here with something because I feel like I witnessed something and I'm kind of trying to align and make sure that I saw the same thing that everybody else saw. And kind of like, is everybody seeing this?
Oh, okay, yeah. So like you're struggling with, is this like a delusion? Is this like a hallucination? Is this like dissociation?
Yeah, is it real? What does the government have to do with it? What's their part? Uh, you know,
What
am
does
I
the government know? What do my kids know? What does my neighbor know?
am I being listened to? Are the words that come out of my mouth being beamed out to hundreds, thousands, millions, perhaps billions and trillions of people over the airwaves?
Is is Tom Hanks a CIA asset? Was it kind of weird that
Yes,
he got COVID first?
unequivocally, yes to both of those questions. But I guess what I'm kind of racking my brain over is Wes Anderson like good?
Oh, see, there's a certain set of like questions that when they come up in a therapy meeting, we have to really kind of like quickly run through the diagnostic criteria to make sure you're not gonna because then we gotta like fill out some paperwork about it.
Oh sure,
Um, and it's like, is life worth living?
yeah,
Should I kill the president?
right.
Should I think I'm being stalked?
Mm-hmm.
And are Wes Anderson films good?
Yeah,
Um, now you're an American of white experience,
uh huh.
living in millennial aged, so
Mm.
you can have kind of an iconoclastic uh anti Wes Anderson opinion, but you have to kind of reverse compliment sandwich it, where you describe him as if a theoretical film bro doesn't like his movies, rather than
Mm.
engage with actual critiques of his film, which is, you know, they're too fussy. He kind of keeps doing the same thing again. His sets are great, but he sort of over relies on his actors to do all of the heavy lifting for the themes of his work. No. You got to come up with a guy and just be like, film bros be like, oh my god, you don't think Rushmore is the greatest movie ever made?
Yeah.
Was Rushmore him? Did I get him confused with someone
No,
else?
no, you got it. You're at Rushmore.
They all kind of blur together.
Yeah,
All of that, all of that early Criterion Collection shit.
yeah. Well, I think that would be an easy scapegoat for me to kind of just insinuate that there's like a guy that I can, making up a guy per se. But I don't know. Let's try to do the intellectual legwork here and kind of work through the problem. Uh,
Mm.
have you ever liked a Wes Anderson movie? What have you seen? What have you liked? What have you
Uh,
not liked?
uh, Life Aquatic, Royal Tenenbaums, Rushmore, Fantastic Mr. Fox. Kind of was interested in Isle of Dogs, but never saw it.
Uh-huh.
Um, did I see French Dispatch? Is that the weird one? Like the weirdly like where he's trying to address race and it's really bad? Or is that the other one? Is that Darjeeling Unlimited?
Uh,
I watched half of whichever that one I'm describing is.
okay. Is the one in
Uh
the one in India is Darjeeling Limited?
that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, that one wasn't very good. Um all of those, I guess I would say I probably liked Royal Tenenbaums. I do know I liked Fantastic Mr. Fox. But I think it's because his style of whimsy serves really well when it's both um stop motion and like already kind of a fantasy, rather
Mm,
than a fantasy of hanging out with 15 to 30 character actors.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's kind of when you go through the Wes Anderson Rolodex, you're kind of running into the same. You're bumping into the same names over and over again. It's
Names, or when they show up, it's always like they turn towards the camera so you can go, "Oh, it's that guy." Oh, fuck. The guy who looks like Bruce Campbell, but he isn't. Matt Dillon. That's it. Oh my god. Oh, I can't believe Matt Dillon's in this. Oh my god, it's Willem Dafoe. Oh, he has a bit role in this. I had no idea. Tilda Swinton's here. Wee, I'm having so much
we I
fun.
can recognize. Clap, 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 clap. I had an amazing moment watching because I watched. I tried to like watch a couple of his movies in preparation for this. Um, and Owen Wilson's first line in The French Dispatch made me scream laugh. I wish I could. I wish I could remember what it was, but he's just like explaining some shit in the Wes Anderson style, where a character just looks at the camera and explains a bunch of shit.
Through the time machine of poetic license, let us take a sightseeing tour.
Saint-Pierre is a small township on the eastern edge of France. It borders Italy, and it comes to like just that candor, that like, but coming out of Owen Wilson.
That's really funny. Yeah. That's just funny to imagine is Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the problem, is that because they all blur together. I would call stuff well-made junk food.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Sideways. It's fine to watch. It's enjoyable. I'd probably even watch it again. But after I watch one, I don't really want to watch another one right away.
The specific problem that I found myself having is that I'm kind of having the like their first album was better syndrome with Wes Anderson, where I feel like he's made his point. He created this style of filmmaking that's very rigid and all about straight lines and all about particular angles. And then he introduces characters where they kind of go through some sort of like emotional transformation that is kind of colors outside the lines, sort of metaphorically speaking, and kind of betrays that sense of, I don't know what you want to call it, rigidity, normalcy, regulatedness, the chewing on a Xanax effect of Wes Anderson films in general that is
Yeah.
is upended by the befuddled, stupid, rich white characters, which I can tolerate some of. I think the Royal Tenenbaums, his run from like Tenenbaums through Fantastic Mr. Fox is pretty undefeated. I like most of those movies. I actually really loved Darjeeling Limited because it's like not it's not a racist movie. It's not it's not, it's not like good, but it is at the very least kind of looking you in your eyes and being like, this is a racist conceit. These characters are being problematic, but it's a narrative about privilege and like all sorts of things. It's annoying in the same way that like Tar is annoying. Like these are fundamentally like it's talking down to quite a large swath of its viewership. But at the same time, the emotionally deregulated rich white characters are funny to me.
I don't know. Maybe I had too much exposure to like very dry comedy.
Oh
And
yeah, it
so
was
it's like,
oversaturated.
yeah, especially in Asteroid City. There's like, on one hand, it was a very, very, very nice antidote to the over winking nudging of a lot of modern comedy, which is honestly why I just haven't even bothered watching a comedy that's like new and fucking forever outside of like Hereditary. Um,
Yeah.
but it was also just like there were. I wish that like if the movie's gonna have fourth wall breaks, every time a character delivered a punchline, everyone on screen turns and looks at the camera at the same time.
God.
Because I feel like it was missing just a little bit of that hyper weirdness to make a lot of the punchlines land. I think the one thing that I did remember laughing at is when Woodrow, the kids are trying to figure out what his deal is, and then the one like gay kid, I'm just assuming he's gay because he wants attention. Um is just like, everybody turn and look at Woodrow right now, because that's just the most like shitty smart ass kid thing to do. Is just be like, I'm trying to figure out if you're nervous or like anxious. Everyone turn and look at you right. Everyone turn and look at him right now.
Yeah. That bit was really funny. The like testing his social abilities, the autism test, really.
Yeah. Feel like the film definitely nailed the what weird precocious kids are like, and how bizarre they act. I did like, okay, the other line I did like was the how'd it turn out? And he shows her the alien picture and she goes, no, the other one. That I thought that was like a good gag, because there's also a good character gag.
Right.
It really reveals a lot about these characters and their dynamic.
Yeah, absolutely. There's craft. It shines through. I mean, like, what kind of idiot's gonna look at a Wes Anderson movie and say that there's no craft? You don't have to like the craft. I frequently did. I'm getting sick of it, but it's there. It's present.
It's like the is it cakes?
Oh yeah.
I'm impressed. But by like the third one, I'm like fucking sick of it. Oh, is the water bottle cake? Oh, look at that. It's fucking cake. Who would have guessed?
Oh, what's going to happen? Is it going to be cake?
Oh, you're going to keep playing the fucking YouTube music? Keep playing the fucking YouTube do music. Come on.
They need to expand. They need to diversify. They need to do some like I Spy shit with those cakes and just like have a room full of objects, and it's like one of these objects.
They need to start, like, I think the first immediate like reversal they should do is they're going enough the knife to cut it, and the knife is actually the cake, and it just crumbles to shit the second they go to cut the item.
We have such good ideas for this growing space of TikTok culture.
For the hot new meme of 2021 or whatever.
New meme that everybody's talking about.
Is it cake?
Hey, maybe next we can capitalize on the dress meme.
Oh my god.
What color?
Did you see what happened, by the way, with the dress meme?
What happened?
Hold on, I gotta find the exact story. So it turns out that the dress actually was some sort of madness ruin, because the husband who bought the dress meme tried to murder his wife, who he bought the dress for.
What the fuck?
This just dropped like 4 days ago.
New dress lore dropped.
And it's great because all the articles are just like, fast forward 8 years later, and the man behind the famous meme is facing charges that he tried to murder his wife.
Jesus Christ.
But it's like, first they start the article off, every article, by explaining the dress meme, and then immediately going into, anyway, he tried to kill her. And there's just something absolutely insane about reading about this like decade-long campaign of terror this man waged against his wife. But like interspersed between that is like a photo of the dress. Many people saw the dress in this picture worn to the Johnsons' wedding as black and blue, while others insisted it was white and gold. Here they are on the Ellen Show talking about the dress. And then it's just like, and then underneath that, just like a paragraph describing like horrible domestic abuse. Very insane, insane news story.
Huh. Okay. Well,
top comment from Peter Rabbit. Please, what makes this news while reporters have zero interest in Epstein's client list?
Oh my god! The internet will never change. It'll be the same forever. The place I land on it is that I don't really see that same humanity kind of peeking out of his newer films. I kind of feel like, I think Grand Budapest Hotel might have been.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, I think that might be kind of a exception. I remember liking it, but I also don't remember dick about it since I watched it.
Yeah, it sounds like it might be like one of those clunkers. But again, like, you know, a well-made clunk.
Of course, yeah. I mean, that was his like off the deep end moment. I mean, like, I think Moonrise Kingdom was the first movie of his that I just didn't really like, didn't care for. And then Grand Budapest was like the point of no return for his visual style, almost.
I see. Here's also the problems. Like you said, the titles of these movies, and they sound like fucking like whimsical gentrified weed strains.
Let's just
Moonrise Kingdom? Are you fucking kidding me?
it immediately, like, reading through chronologically his oeuvre, it immediately, like, it starts out like humble beginnings and then off the deep end in terms of just the title. Bottle Rocket, that's pretty self-explanatory. That's very, like, that's very of the man, of the common people. And then Rushmore. Okay, we're getting out of Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah, no, it's just
It gets fully fringing immediately. Enough whimsy, enough joy.
I'm cutting you off, Wes.
Cutting you off. I want you to dig a ditch for 5 years.
Wes Anderson saw like David Lynch's woo woo, like we are in a dream, but who is the dreamer? Cinema is the dream, and he just went like, "Oh, I could do that." What if a bunch of characters told you gotta go to bed to wake up?
Yeah. How emotional. What a crescendo that moment was. I barely remember it. What did you think of the gay stuff?
Should have been more.
Yeah.
Just the guy gets like the writer like just fucking disappears after that, and then he kind of reappears at the end, and then he dies.
Yeah.
And he dies off screen. Fuck that. Just more gay.
Come on, Wes. This is, I mean, like, I don't know. The fundamental problem with Wes Anderson is that it's impossible it's impossible to buy a sort of honoring tone the way he talks about the way he has historically discussed homosexuals or entire swaths of people of color from other countries.
It's really just like it's in there, and then it just happens, and I'm just like, for what?
Yeah.
I kind of like the exchange he had, the actor has on the balcony where she's talking about the lines that she would have had in her one scene, and all of them are like just lines that they cut and put elsewhere in the play. Because she has the line where she's like, I think he'll be okay. He's always been a little strange or whatever. And then it's like the kid says that. There's just like a bunch of lines that they have in that exchange that are said elsewhere in the movie.
Right.
I thought that was okay.
Yeah. Yeah, clever at the very least. Doing something with format.
Yeah, but then again, at the end of the day, it's like, but for what? To make an extremely basic, like, we keep doing things and making art because it's you gotta get back, you gotta go back on the horse. When you fall off the horse, you get back on it. You wake up, you go back to bed.
Yeah. Every day we are living, hurtling forward, day by day, moment by moment, minute by minute.
Oh, do you actually want to see something like insane?
Yeah.
Do you have a copy of the movie like in front of you, like on hand?
I can.
Okay. Open it up and go to like any random scene in it. I'm doing this at home with him.
Okay. A test for the people at home.
So open it up. Do you have two monitors or one monitor?
I got two.
Okay, put one of them in the corner. Kind of look at it, whatever. You can mute it. Now go to Google Images and Google Asteroid City. The color grading on all the promotional images is different.
Really? Different from the...
It's more washed out than they actually are in the film.
Oh, are you putting forth a conspiracy theory about the promotional material? It looks different. I don't know.
It's not a conspiracy theory. It's just this isn't my discovery. This was PD187 on Letterboxd just like mentioned it in a comment. Just like also they changed the color grading for all the promotional stuff because like people think that movies have to look a certain way, and like everyone, including myself, was like, no, they didn't. Come on, you're crazy. And then everyone like is looking it up and like, oh my god, it is like way different. It's like noticeably more washed out.
Huh. That's really
The only thing I can think of is it's just because it's like some suit marketing person somewhere was like, oh, this movie doesn't look like an art film. It looks too much like a fucking Wile E. Coyote cartoon. We gotta make it look more indie.
yeah, that's I don't know. The cinematic arms race that Wes Anderson is really at the spearhead of. It's the fact that I mean, God, it's also doubly hard to watch like a new Wes Anderson movie in the era where everybody's like using AI to like hawk his shit.
Oh yeah.
And it just feels like he's been so absorbed by the culture, the mainstream, the whatever you want to call it, that I don't know.
No, I guess that's like a good way to put it, is that there's this like part of the issue is that like his rise was kind of like, oh, like a very fussy particular aesthetic that isn't really like is unique to this filmmaker coming out of time of like very by the box blockbusters.
Yeah.
But now it's like, but like the Wes Anderson flavor is like a thing that they put on movies.
Yeah.
Like they will say, give me that Wes Anderson flavor.
There's actually, if you go to funnyordie.com and you click on categories, this is another fun thing you can do at home. There's actually a whole entire section with several thousand videos in it, just Wes Anderson parodies. Wes Anderson version of The Flash, Wes Anderson version of Marvel.
Forgot about that shit. Oh.
Wes Anderson version of horror movies. What if a scary movie, Halloween, was like
looked like Wes Anderson?
Looked like a Wes Anderson movie. So funny.
And what's crazy is that only like 30% of those were done by SNL.
Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, you would think. I don't know. I mean, we haven't really said much about the actual meat of the film, but
They're really, I don't want to say there really isn't that much to say about it, but there isn't. It's a Wes Anderson film. It does kind of a fourth wall breaky thing where there's like a story in a story. There's a bit where Bryan Cranston is in the movie within the play within the movie, and he goes, "Oh, am I not in this scene?" And the actors respond as if he was actually, as if he's there, and they're like, "Oh, your line is this: the grease paint. It's on the wrong side of your face."
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a part where the actor playing the main character goes, "I don't understand the play," and then he walks backstage and it's black and white, and then Bryan Cranston is like, "This is the point of the movie." Hello.
I think okay, here's how I can sum up my problem with it and the reason that I really glean nothing from it. I think that the Royal Tenenbaums, for example, is a family drama where the family's personality disorder is bipolar. And in Asteroid City, the family at the center of the drama, their personality disorder is autism. And because, as I've stated before, autism is the normal brain and allistic people are the not normal brain, that makes for a really kind of uninteresting movie. I was unmoved by the family drama, by the discussion of grief, because this is well-trod ground for Wes Anderson. I already went through these emotional this emotional roller coaster with like Darjeeling and Life Aquatic, and it's I don't know, it's retready, and it's also less interesting and less daring, and just a devilish, nightmarish combination of factors.
Yeah, no, it just feels like him just doing it again. I will say his like sets and everything in this aesthetic, best, still great, still looks good. Movie looks good. The actors really give it their all, but it's all in the service of just kind of like,
Right.
It's a Wes Anderson movie. You've seen it before.
I'm averse in the same way I'm averse to New Vegas, where I just can't stand Southwest bullshit because it's bullshit. This version, and another thing, this weird like 50s era retcon of the South. I come on, Wes. You're like a sheep in wolf's clothing with the white supremacy crap in your movies. Like, you don't gotta make like a 50s Southwest. I don't know.
I really do. No, it's weird because he does the thing that a lot of like post Disney sort of like filmmakers do to like anticipate that critique, where they make the cast like diverse, which is fine. That's applaudable in itself.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually negate that critique like they think it does.
No, because that's a retcon. That's not reality. Reality is racist.
Yeah. Like, it's fine. Like, it's like, hey, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's totally fine. But it's like, that doesn't then go, there's no possible way this film could come off as really weirdly revisionist of American history.
Right. Yeah. And an idyllic view of although, has there ever been a good time in America? Oh god, we're getting into the commie talk again. Fucking shit. Asteroid mid.
Hey, he should Wes Anderson.
Oh! He should Wes Anders stop. And Wes Anders don't.
He should subscribe to us on Patreon. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, over on Patreon, we've got exclusive episodes. We got sneak previews of other videos. Did you like that Marilyn Monroe? Did you like that Blind video? Huh?
We got more. We're thinking of.
We got more coming. Our brains
We're wringing our brains dry. I don't know. I'm doing a David Lynch. I think that's just my generic. Whenever I'm doing a funny voice, it just tends towards David Lynch.
Can you believe it? Friday, once again. I guess I'm gonna get my rootin' tootin' hacky sack on down the road to Route 66 to Asteroid City to see what all the ruckus and hubbub about is for myself, if I don't reckon, partner.
I can't think. That movie just went right in one ear, out the other. I feel like it's like I ate a bunch of cotton candy.
There was a whole alien in that movie.
There was barely. That pissed me off. Bring that guy back. He was great.
More of Jeff Goldblum's Invader Zim, please.
Yes.